guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project 365, episode 512. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're spending some great time with your family. Tonight, we are spending some great time on our knees. Now, these bad boys get a lot of beating in the functional fitness community, so we're going to try to take care of them. First of all, I want to talk about the setup. The setup is going to be with our knee in this 45 degree position. We don't want it to be in full 90 degrees, and we don't want it to be extended all the way. You'll see why in a second. But I use the kettlebell here because it works really well, and I want my leg to be as relaxed as possible. Here's the reason why. We're going to be working on that region right on the bottom of that patella or kneecap and right above the tibial tuberosity. This magical little section of about 2 inches right there, that's where a lot of people complain of the symptoms of patellar tendonitis, although it's referred to in the medical community as the infrapatellar region. Now, a couple things about the anatomy. Our patella or kneecap, it kind of works like this heart-shaped or diamond-shaped type of bone, right? So what happens is when we do the general roll where we're just going to kind of come up like this, we bump into the patellar tendon, right? We bump into the patella because we're going over the patellar tendon, which is all good and dandy. That's great, and we're still getting some good work in there. But if you noticed, I kind of made my fingers into a point, and I did that for a reason. Because instead of coming up just to the point and just taking care of this real estate that's here, what we're going to do is we're going to depress the stick into that region, and then we're going to come up on the lateral border and also the medial border of the kneecap. So think about it, instead of just rolling, okay, think about we're going to get in here, we're going to depress, and I'm going to turn my hands on the outside, or on the underneath, just so you guys can see. Once I make that depression in that gully there, that gully that's in between that tibial tuberosity and the inferior patellar pole, all right, once I get in that area, all I'm going to think about doing is excavating up to the right, or up to the lateral section, my right, up to the lateral section of the kneecap, and then up to the medial section, all right? So I'm going to be doing this kind of twisting mechanism, but the thing is that the stick itself stays in the same plane. This would be the frontal plane if we're talking about anatomical terminology. We're not going into the transverse plane like we've showed in the past, okay? We're just depressing down in, we're getting that pressure, and then we're getting some excavation into that lateral section, which if I show you on my finger, just pretend that I'm outlining my patellar, my patella, I'm just coming down, depressing down so I could get that attachments of where the bone itself is enveloped, all right, and then I'm just rounding out the outside, and if it was on the inside pole like such, I'm just rounding out the inside like that. So I'll show you one more time. We're going to come up, we're going to get in that gully just like that. I get it nestled down in there, and I excavate out to the lateral section, and you'll feel some nice good chunks out there. I'm just kind of encompassing the borders of the patella, right? And I'm going to go to the outside as well. But again, just one last time, the trick is that we're not coming into that transverse plane like I've shown in the past, and we're not rolling up and down like such, but what we're doing is we're depressing down in that gully and then going into that frontal plane, so that way we can excavate the lateral sections and the medial sections of that patellar pole. Of course, the squat will be your retest to see how you feel with that. And also, what we're going to be using is the rule tonight of finding a hot spot and calling that a 10, and then continuing that excavation both laterally and medially until that 10 turns into a 5. Guys, happy Thanksgiving one more time. I hope this helps you out, and until tomorrow, we are optimizing function to optimize.